everyone, this is Ellen Alt here for MK Quilts and MK Quilts University, and I want you to join me in the world of curves. Now here at MK Quilts we've been doing classes with these So Kind of Wonderful patterns for quite a while, but there's a brand new sew along that literally just started using these stunning butterflies that I want you to hop in on. Now, So Kind of Wonderful has multiple rulers, and the one that we've been using the most has been the Quick Curve ruler. It's large, it's this beautiful curve, you work oversized, and there is absolutely no pinning involved when you're making these curved projects. Kind of the big bonus of their patterns. But the brand new sew along, this is Butterfly Fields that we have kits for and patterns for, has a different ruler. This is now the Wonder Curve ruler, and it's a newer curve shape from them. Same sort of process, same sort of idea that we're going to work oversized and trim down, and still no curves at all. So I want to show you how to use the Wonder Curve ruler compared to the Quick Curve. So if you look at our rulers, the Quick Curve itself is rather large, and we have this long groove that we can fit our rotary cutter in. Based on the pattern, it will tell you where to position the ruler. I can see I've got little arrows that helped me mark whatever I was cutting last. And then you would use this ruler to also trim down. Well, let's introduce now the Wonder Curve. And first thing you can see is it's a little bit smaller, easier to work with. But the beauty of the Wonder Curve is it is now color-coded. And your markings are all on the actual ruler itself. So before, you had to kind of line up and try to make sure everything fit perfectly. Well, now you've got placement for all of your blocks. So I'm going to show you real quickly how this ruler works. So with the ruler comes a free pattern, which makes these small butterflies. So on the back of the insert, and here we'll show up to, is your pattern, tells you how much fabric you need, how to cut, and then on the inside as well. So with the Wonder Curve, it's working the same as Quick Curve, that you're cutting inside this curve. But the beauty is now we've got measurements to line everything up for the actual cutting. So you can see I've got blue, orange, and black. So depending on the size that you're using is going to be which arrangement you're actually placing them on. Now from this, you're going to be cutting two shapes. They've kind of renamed it that their new shape is called shimmer, that it's a slightly different curve than before. But we're looking at lining up your fabric inside this outer square. And as you line it up, your corners perfectly match on the edge of the curve. And then you're going to cut in the groove. Same as kind of others, move the ruler so that way you can have it more comfortable to yourself for cutting. I'm using a regular 45 rotary. And it's going to cut away my waist and give me this new shimmer curve. Really quite simple. To make the background pieces that are going to actually match in, you're using the exact same ruler. Again, they'll tell you fabric-wise what kind of sizes and everything that you need to use, but you'll work from a square to cut in half. Again, looking at, they're trying to use up as much fabric as possible, with little to no waste. Then with these, based on how these curves work, and this is the magic that they kind of go into in more detail in the patterns, you do need to have blunt edges. And then I am using the exact same curve, the exact same lines. I was using blue for the outer, I'm using blue again. Now for my background. Oops. But that's now going to give me my background piece to sew together to create my curved block. Now how these go together is, again, we're working oversized and there is no pinning involved. Because it's oversized and we're going to trim down, everything fits together absolutely perfect. So you can see the actual shape of what it is. In terms of sewing purposes, here we'll use our little step out guides. Is you're going to always have your background on the bottom. This has the most bias, this has the most stretch, whatever is your shimmer. is going to go on top, and then you're going to just sew a 1/4 inch, and as you go, this will be stretched and pulled down so it automatically fits into that curve. Again, with the magic of sewing, you'll get something that looks like this. With this, you're going to press towards the shimmer side, creating a really nice flat crease. Now, this is one curve on its own. Depending on your pattern, you might be stopping here. With these sweet little butterflies, though, we need to add in another curve. Now, keep in mind, all those cuts I did before were on the blue, being my blue line. So I am still on my blue line, but I have a blue curve on my ruler, which I line up exactly with that curve that I did before. So now, as I trim, I can make sure everything's outside of my blue box. So it can do little shifting as needed. And now I get my second curve, which my second background piece will now fit in absolutely perfectly. Again, same sort of process, having that bias on the bottom. And then I'm going to attach and sew a 1/4 inch and pull this underneath. As you pull it underneath, again, you're going to then press to the direction it's telling you. She does have pressing directions that are very important and helpful for when you're putting everything together. But you're going to get something like this. And a lot of people will freak out. They're like, oh, but my sides, they don't match up. That's the beauty of Sew Kind of Wonderful, is they don't need to match up because we are trimming down, which I'm again using the same ruler and the same color coding. That there are little dots that are blue, since I've been working blue this whole time, that I line up directly on my points. And that's going to give me the specific shape to trim. Again, I can see outside I have some excess. Outside on the others I have some excess. So I am going to trim off the right, trim off the top, spin the block, put those blue dots right where they were. My corner is now a true corner. Trim and trim, and I now have a perfect little wing for my butterfly. So that's how to use the ruler as a whole, and you can make this sweet little table runner pattern with this ruler. But of course, there is so much more to use, and that's where this sew along comes in. So this is run by Sew Kind of Wonderful. They have a Facebook group specifically for this quilt. They have YouTube videos to also show you how to use the ruler and do the cutting. But if you look at these curves, this curve here and this curve here, those are all using this curve for the ruler. So it'll go into the book, very descriptive of like which size, which color coding you're using, but these outside curves of the wings are all made with this ruler. Now what's really great with this pattern is it's actually a sampler quilt, so all the butterflies are the same, but inside the wings are different little blocks, and your kit includes the entire amount of fabric that you need to make this. It's their own actual collection of fabric that they designed specifically for this project. So we only have a few kits left and a few patterns left, and it only just started. These blocks were made by Malia, one of our long armors here, and she brought them in so we could share them. I have not started mine yet, but hey, I made cute little butterflies. So we hope you join us and shop with us for Sew Kind of Wonderful rulers. Take classes with us either in store or online on MK Quilts University, and you too will fall in love with curves.